Hi there, it's Michael André Ford, your American Angel Intuitive, just talking angels again and how easy it is for absolutely anybody to meet, hear, feel, and see angels, loving guides from many different cultures, backgrounds, whether it's Native American chiefs, Plato, Seneca, Mary, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and so on. Also figures from India, many different types of figures from India. These are all unconditional love figures. What's beautiful about the service, or what I help do for people, which is really just hold the space, help them realize they can get out of here and get to here. They're doing it every day. They just don't give themselves credit for it. What's great is everything is direct. And so individuals can do this. They've been doing this, I think, 10, 11, 12 years now. But now people can do it in groups. So that's group seeing, group feeling, group hearing. And that also just takes a lot off my shoulders. I've got photos of angels, a couple videos. You can check out the website. Joy the Angel flies over my head, and one of them from 2 Decembers ago. What's great is when you go to see, you can see light that way, you know, all different colors of light, all different shapes, sizes. You can get fireworks done for you as a pick-me-up. It's like tiramisu, but no calories, or a cup of coffee, again, no caffeine. This is really about the concept of no limits. It's almost like Disney special effects. When you go to see an angel, you probably have to do it out your window, and some people need a football field or two away to be able to allow their psyche, their ego to grasp this. Others who are super comfortable are loosey-goosey or just really relaxed. It could be just 5 feet away. And you can have angels show up in human form as well. So this is really interesting. You don't have to listen to me at all. I mean, anyone can do this on their own. Good luck with that. Have fun with that. It's happened throughout time, but angels are more available, or are available now more than ever before. Before it was just certain people, but now mankind is looking at more fun consciousness, broader, deeper. Call it a spiritual awakening if you wish. Mankind itself, with our thinking and what we think we know and our judging, we judge everyone and everything. We slap labels on people. This isn't possible. He's a fake. He's this. No, I'm not talking about me, but just about everybody out there, whether it's sports, professional writer, historian, an ESPN analyst, you name it. Humans are in the business of judging, reacting, all the fear-based stuff, stress, worry, doubt, and so on. This isn't that. This is about the lighter side of all of us. We all have the capacity to love more and allow more. Think about all the moments in life that are worth living, that are all the pleasant moments. That happens when you're in your heart, no other place. You can't think your way through hugging your dog. You can't think your way through your dog suddenly licking you. You might react and be like, ugh, I don't like the lick, but your heart is singing because your pooch just connected with you, and you probably talked yourself out of a reaction that way and got into a love mode. Artists know this, athletes know it, singers know it, performers, dancers, even just cooks, whether you're a casual cook at home or a professional, when you're in the flow state, performance in the zone as an athlete, that's when you're here. That's when your thinking has dropped to here and you're one with whatever you're doing, the yoga class, the walk, nature, and so on. So this is a lot less about meeting light beings, a jinn who represents East Asian mysticism, a passed over loved one. Yes, you can meet and hear and see and feel your loved ones. Also pets as well. There's no limits here, and that's what this is about. If there are no limits in life, maybe there are really no limits. There's a certain point in your life, it could have been last week when you were 5, somewhere in between, or right now. You believe in no limits. This is up to you how you want to flow your energy. Unfortunately, most of us are like Scrooge in the Christmas Carol, and we are limiting whether we know it or not. We're making choices all the time, unconscious, conscious. Unconsciousness is up here. The scientific community doesn't realize it. Most huge business professionals, or especially the experts in spirituality who think they've got everything down, there's a lot of unconsciousness, and that just means they know what they know, they're in their lane, they're in their trench, doing what they're doing probably totally successfully, selling 1 million books, telling people how to behave, how to roll, and helping people legitimately across the board. So everyone should keep doing exactly what they're doing. But for those that are willing to buck what they know, their version of reality, and if you take 7 billion, 8 billion people and look at all the different versions of reality, you look at the thinking, the likes and the dislikes, and you let that stuff cancel each other out, you're left with one fundamental truth. Love. Love actually. Love all. Love is. And love's the fabric of the universe. So this is about loving more, allowing more, being at peace, being able to walk a smoother path. And most of us are not accustomed to being here more. We want to do it. We'd sign a piece of paper saying we'd love to do it. We'd love to make it a New Year's resolution. It's like most of our other resolutions: exercise, diet, going on a vacation. But we end up punting at some point. So what's great about this is angels live within you and around you. If you need to think interdimensionality, fine. If you'd rather just see it as figures like out of the Wim Hof movie, Wings of Desire, Germany, that German film in black and white, you'll see angels walking around behind people, maybe with a hand on your shoulder. I love that. And that's the way you can see them, absolutely, with or without wings. Meet, again, Plato, Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, St. Francis, St. Gerard, St. Anthony, Mother Teresa, Mary, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Geronimo, Don't Life, Red Shirt, 3 unconditional love Native American chiefs, spirit guides who are wonderful. They can help anybody get from point A to B. Meet White Buffalo Calf Woman, Chief Joseph, Black Elk, Crazy Horse. I usually blow sage through the screen, and you can smell sage. With those guys, just ask to smell sage, sweetgrass, juniper, some special sacred scent, and you can smell it. Nothing gets lit, no human involved. That's what's, again, great about this is you kick the human out of the way. I show you how your plumbing, your electricity is already working. You're using it every day, but your brain, your psyche, your resistance to all, your unconsciousness, who doesn't want you to shake your chains. If it's the Plato's cave analogy, you're locked in chains deep in the cave, only with a fire casting shadows on the wall. Or I like the prison cell analogy. You're in a prison cell, the door's wide open, and you're grabbing the bars on the window, looking out at the world, and you're saying, I wish I was out there. That's any situation you're stuck, financial, health, relationships, you don't have love in your life, you're stressed out all the time, health issues. All you have to do is slow up your thinking, get out of here, out of what you think you know, what your details are, separate. Byron Katie style, she's wonderful, go grab her. She takes a crowbar to your thinking and shows you it's not so absolute as you think it is. Once you get here, all of life is potential, possibility. And it's where all the warm fuzziness happens. Again, all the action in life that's worth living, that you'll, on your last breath, all the action in life that you did that was amazing, it happened here. So this is just about being here more. The mindfulness meditation groups out there, communities, are trying to show you how to be here more. Breathing, smiling, lying down, taking a nap, meditating, going for a walk. There's a million ways to get here. But there's like 50 million ways humans have invented structure, thought forms, blocks, bricks that goes into walls that are barriers to living and breathing more fully. So details are a part of that. You got to let go of your details. I'm not saying you can't have any answer to any question. You can. I don't tell you a thing. It's private. It's a direct experience. You literally can have any answer to any question. You have to be willing to show up. You have to have an open mind, and that's all I can offer folks is an open mind. You do your own listening. All languages are spoken, all dialects, and more importantly, you have no privacy. So angels, light beings, unconditional love spirit guides, religious, non-religious, loving figures, they just know how to reach you with the answer. You're asking about your cousin Clara. You're asking about your dog. You're asking about where to go on vacation. They know how to phrase everything, phraseology in a way that resonates. Love. It hits here and it leaves you on cloud 9, excited, happy. The real question is, how fast can you write? 49 pages in 9 hours by an Australian is the world record right now. I just checked in every 2 hours. Again, you do your own listening. And I love using, this is going to sound structured, but I use like Microsoft Word documents. You talk to 3 figures at a time. That way you triangulate in on the topic. If you're a business person, and business people are so good at this, they're almost, I don't want to do compare and contrast, but business people know what they want. They're very practical about their world, their environment. They know their business model, so they know what to ask, and they know how to listen, and they just know how to use a pen. So they ask, they listen, they get any answers for their business model. Who to call, joint ventures. I don't see any of the details. I always love it when people share answers. In the old days, I used to go over every answer, every question. No more. Just don't have the time for that. But still want to be encouraging. If you can show up, you can be here, you can allow for this, the universe is here to help. Now, the universe already helps you in a million ways. Every situation that's coming your way, there's that expression that 5 or 6 guests said last year on my Angels Positivity and Love show in 2023. They said events don't happen to you, they happen for you. It was also mentioned in Ted Lasso, in the Amsterdam scene with the president of the football club falling into the canal. The guy who rescued her said that as well. It's such a beautiful reminder that nothing is by accident. What about it when the blind turtle finds the plank? It was no accident. I'm quoting Joshu, a Zen saying from a long time ago. So if you can trust a little bit more, at least in serendipity, and that you are not alone, that love is the fabric of the universe, you're totally protected, whether we're talking UAPs, UFOs, you're just personal safety. Just trust more in your well-being. Take a breath on it. Smile on it. Go for a walk to celebrate you. Touch a tree, hug a tree. Trees are such a great way to ground. Find a happy tree. Use your Jedi instinct, your instinctual gut feeling. Trust more, worry less. Trust more, fear less. Trust more, think less. Smile more, think less. Breathe more, think less. I think you get the pattern here. We're all doing way too much of this. And in this day and age, I thought the late 80s were the cream of the crop for heavy thinking, heavy dictating, how everyone has to toe the line and only think this way in unison. No free speech, no freedom of expression, no being you. And instead, it looks like these days, this day and age is even more interesting. I never thought I'd see that. So it doesn't matter what's going on in other countries. It doesn't matter what's going on culturally, you get the idea. Politically, or in this state or that state, or with your appliances. This is about your energy field. This is about your being. You're a ball of light. Let's do it that way. You can meet and see your higher self as sort of an aurora. What do you think all the good advice is that's coming to you that sounds like your voice? A good portion of that, though, are your loved ones and angels. They don't want to freak you out with a different voice. Like you wouldn't want Aunt Martha or Uncle Frank coming in the middle of driving and saying, what a beautiful job you did yesterday. You'd probably drive off the road. So you got to give yourself a break on this entire topic. I've got photos of angels again, videos. People do this individually. People do it in groups. I've got 100+ testimonials now. If you count all the shows, everyone except for one guest has taken multiple different types of steps on the show. I had one guest I got really shy with, who's really famous, who I only blew sage to. That still counts for something. That person was overseas and was able to smell something at that person's end. The show isn't about proving anything, but it's nice having the testimonials from really visible people, plus the guests on the show take steps before the show, after the show. The show's not about proving anything. So they get a lot of stuff done then. Full on hearing, feeling, seeing, getting answers. It's a shock to the system. It's the epistemological or ontological shock for some, especially if you've really been rooted in what you know. You could be the #1 UAP, UFO researcher, journalist, or show host, and this is tough because you're used to separating yourself from the subject. You're chasing information. You want to report the news, but you're doing a lot of this. And so think about it. It's been blow by blow for 75, 80 years now. Maybe we're getting closer to the truth of whatever this government or that government or this organization or that organization has done, said, or has, or the way the universe really is. Why wouldn't you want to just slice through all that and go ahead and just meet a light being? Or angels. Angels come from really far out, all different makes, models, sizes, types, all unconditional love. Sort of like the Green Lantern movie, if you've ever seen the one with Ryan Reynolds. Just unconditional love figures here to help, but not to interfere and not to tell you how it is. You have to set your intent. You have to be willing to listen. You have to be curious in the slightest way. There's a lot of, not dead folks walking around, but there's a lot of intellectuals. And there's a lot of intellectuals who are shut tight like an oyster. Now, I was probably shut tight like an oyster last Wednesday, half of last year. We're all shut tight like an oyster. On any given day, if we watch the news, we find our like or dislike, and we start rejecting or judging others. That flow is not positive. We'll call it unlove. When you're down here loving all, and you're even allowing for the biggest jerk in the world to do what they're doing, it doesn't mean you have to hang out with them. It doesn't mean you have to get into a fight with them in the alleyway. But my point is, there's something just called unconditional love and allowing and compassion. There's trillions of layers of it as you get broader and broader in your vibration, or higher and higher in your vibration. And that's a lifelong lesson. It's not just this lifetime, but it's the soul's journey or the soul's path. You can have that accelerated. You can have your path altered by angels, by light beings, and so on. That's really between you and angels. And same thing with meeting a past over loved one. I always have people just talk directly with angels. You have to get comfortable, and then you're letting everyone else do their jobs. You're checking out of your brain, getting out of your own way, and you're literally dumbing it down. Just go to your big heart, receive, 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 ask or allow, ask and receive. Whether it's your answers, getting hugs. I think, one hug's worth 100 questions. Hugs can become healing. Colorblind people have seen color. People whose noses are temporarily not working, or they really just can't smell. I mean, that happens once in a while. You can still smell. Think of everything as an energy, and it's coming to you in a positive way. Even getting your next book could be in a symphony of light that unpacks over time. How do you think you get inspired? What do you think creativity is? This is really your own internal learning curve, and there's really no learning. You already knew all this stuff, you just forgot. And it really is just syncing up with the way you're already rolling when you're in a positive mode, or when you're down here doing love, not the unconsciousness, lack of awareness, resistance, ego, judging, knowing to the preclusion of possibility. That's like 80 to 95% of human knowing. Think about it. Most of what you know changes, or we have a new discovery, it replaces the old discovery. But the big thing is there are loving beings who are supporting you. You only have to put it out there and do what you're already doing one way. You're judging people as it is all the time anyhow. I do it. Everyone does it. It's called being human. And so you're one-weighing all the time. If you can just slow that down by like 7%, a little less thinking daily, weekly, monthly, and a little more allowing, and a little more being aware of where you're placing your focus. Here's the big thing I've learned with a couple thousand folks helped in 12 years. Where you put your focus is where you put your focus. If you can become more mindful of that and just steer it a little more through here, that is a beautiful flow of energy. Just think of your favorite ocean, your favorite breeze on your favorite gulf or coastline, or your favorite mountaintop view, your favorite vacation spot, or your favorite family memory. That's what I'm talking about, is that vibe. When you're here, you have a broader, gentler, kinder, more compassionate take on everything. You might even allow for that jerk who lives 50 houses down in your neighborhood to just be as they are. You have to, it's again, Christmas Carol and the Scrooge. Your showing compassion and love can help support others and ripple in a way you'll never quite realize until after this life what sort of great job you did in just supporting that other person out there. I hope that made sense. Okay, so I've got photos of angels. They can move, change color, shift, pulse. Most of the photos are in energy light form, or light energy form, whatever the expression angels gave me. One's a silhouette of an angel. Others are, different shapes. I know there's a huge community out there that loves to say the word orbs. I wouldn't use that at all. Some are circles, sure, but there's tons of other, you see the shapes of fairies. So I'm not anti-lingo. It's just there's so many millions of communities that only know it a certain way, and in a way that version of knowing limits them without them knowing it. And that's okay too. Everyone's right where they are. They're good where they are. I wouldn't want to change a thing. I wouldn't want to tell anybody anything. But let's flip this pancake and say it a different way. The Buddhist community can meet and hang out with Buddha. Kuan Yin, Chogyam Trungpa, Thich Nhat Hanh, and some others. A Jin who's East Asian mysticism, who's just wonderful. Such a jolly fellow. The near-death community can hang with, religious, non-religious figures, angels. They can experience the highlight of their near-death experience if they were on the other side and having a wonderful experience before they came back. They can have that recreated. I don't think I've ever actually gotten to do that, because everyone knows what they know, and we're not in the practice of cultivating the concept of what can we ask for. Hey, if I have no limits, what should I ask for? Pretend it's a wish list, a magic wand, a lamp. I mean, literally with the jinn, rub the lamp practically. Genie, jinn, there's one more word I'm forgetting. The point of this is we're not accustomed to no limits. And so it could be a decade, 20 years before we really go, oh, hey, this really is about no limits. So it's at least a good idea in life to write up what you think your situation, your dilemma, your story is. That could be 28 pages. Hopefully over time you can shrink that to I am love, I'm amazing, I have no limits, I'm walking a smoother path and having tons of fun, and I want to sparkle more. Hopefully. Meanwhile, most of us need help with paying the bills, health situations, relationship stuff, how to interact on this situation, that situation. You can get all those answers. Ask a Native American chief, ask your angels, ask your relatives. Just trust that the universe is far bigger than we're ever going to be able to grasp or quite allow for. And it's always a work in progress. And that's why the expansion, the growth, the ability to move up the curve into more love is always there in each and every moment. All moments can be the same, put it that way. And there's tons of folks out there who have decided they've hung out a shingle. They could be the top spiritual expert, top archaeological expert on ancient Egypt, but they're not going to want to close their eyes and let angels take them to ancient Egypt. 5 minutes of our time is 20 minutes over there. Humans work so much up here in thought forms and structure that just a little less thinking would do humanity, our collective consciousness and our collective ability to be more compassionate, a world of good. There'd be a lot less conflict if more people would simply listen, whether we're talking at the regional, state level, country level, war. We have it all, and we just forget that. We have it all as individuals. We have it all with exactly the way our hand, if it's a poker game, has been dealt to us. We're only reading the cards at face value. We think a 2 is a 2 and a 5 is a 5 and a queen of hearts is a queen of hearts. It's way beyond that. You can have your 2 turn into an ace. You can have your queen of hearts be a king of diamonds if that's better for you. You can get past the card game and just simply allow more and let angels, the universe, deliver up more harmony for you. Think of The Alchemist. What a beautiful book. What a beautiful allegory. The boy goes out into the world seeking his personal treasure. Now, I don't want to blow the book for anybody, but Paulo Coelho's piece, it's a masterpiece, came from above. The boy realizes that his internal, his personal treasure, it's always been here. And it's always been right in front of him as well, I think is another message. So this is about that whole journey into our hearts, into, as a kid, most of us had it together. We're in harmony with everything. Didn't do too much thinking. It was like, hey, what's next? What tree can I climb? And so on. But once the adult thing kicked in, or we've gotten a couple trauma incidents, or, kicked in the teeth by life, or knocked down, we can get stuck up here for long periods of time. This experience of meeting angels can lift that all off of you. Some people aren't quite ready to completely let it go. Others are like good riddance. So you can keep it in eyesight distance and let angels carry it on their shoulders for you if you need another metaphor. But the whole point of this is to lighten up, to let go of what needs letting go, and to bring in more love, compassion, shininess, and just contentment. How about that? So again, what I love about this is I don't have to worry about credibility. This is direct. This is awesome too, because if you have a reaction to any of this, you just got to meet your own ego. And that happens to a lot of people. There's a reaction one way or another. It's their concern. It's on them. They've got to handle it. Sometimes it takes years. Sometimes I'll never speak to that person again. And that's okay. There's other people who it's the opposite. They go through the experience. They meet angels. They see their relatives, see angels, see whoever. It's miracles. And they're very thankful. And in the old days, before the pandemic, people would throw hugs on me. And I like hugs. Hugs are good. But hugs are also energy transactions. So before I knew my boundary thing, this would be like 5 years ago, when people give you a hug, sometimes you're picking up their baggage as well. You're lightening them up even further. So that was a big lesson for me. Look, everything's energy. You have unlimited abilities to hear more, feel more, see more, have more fun. Get your answers, have your cake and eat it too. So I'm just here to try to remind you. You can check out my website. My website has tons of detail. It's not like a It's not like a bunch of websites that are funnels today that are just one page long with 4 options of spending money. My website's got photos of angels on it, photos of Native American chiefs. You can put your hand out to a photo, choose your favorite figure, and feel the vibe. Not straight onto the laptop screen or the phone or the iPad, but just a couple inches away. Feel what you can feel. It'll be here, it'll be here, it'll be all over here. You might ask for a hug and get a whoosh down your back, sparkle on your toes if you're resisting a lot. Make sure you breathe extra. Allow. My only rule or bit of structure that I've got, besides pen and paper is really nice for getting all your answers, is ask the universe to help you out. Ask angels, if you don't mind addressing them directly, ask them to get you out of your head, into your heart, and make it nice and own it with a thank you, Om Sai Ram, amen, rock and roll, whatever personalized way you have of setting your intent. So you can feel what you can feel. You can see what you want to see. Photos will move, change color. Audrey Hepburn's photo will wink, eyebrow will go up. She'll smile more. We all know static historical photos, there's no way they should be able to move. They move. You have so many other experiences you can have with angels. And why not just test the waters a little before you go to bed? Ask angels to make it nice. Your week ahead, ask for more humor, more serendipity, more synchronicity, whatever the words are that you want to choose, more fun people coming across your path, more abundance. I love that word. Remember, we all think in terms of financial abundance. We all certainly could use more cash, more opportunities that way. But positivity itself being here is the number one avenue for all abundance. In a way, the more you're here, the more the rest of your game, your abilities fall into place, or what you're experiencing in life falls into alignment with how you're flowing. So that's the biggest lesson. Whether you know how this works or not, whatever the rules of the game are for how you're spending your energy, you're responsible for it regardless. Ignorance is no excuse. You're spending energy all the time. You're consciously making decisions in each moment. So it's up to you to figure out what the hot stove, the burning, bright, hot, orange-looking iron on this old stovetops that you would never want to touch because it's flaming hot. And, at some point in your life, you figured out, well, don't touch it because you're going to get burned. That's thinking a good portion of it. I know a lot of people are like, oh, we should embrace the ego and everything else, but ego's unawareness. And as Eckhart Tolle said, and I said in my last one, he has a great quote. Ego is unawareness, and, unconsciousness and awareness cannot coexist in the same moment. So it's either or. It's like a hot shower, and you just can't be upset when you're having a beautiful hot shower. It's either or. So you're either here or you're up here. You can't be half pregnant on this. And that's kind of a fact on that. You're either having the best time on the pitch, the soccer field, you're in the flow, kicking butt as a soccer player, and you're doing what you're doing. You know what it's about when you're having a good time. Fishing, doing a yoga class, it's 2 hours long and it went by in 10 minutes because you had the best time in the world. A book, you got lost in the book, you read 200 pages, it felt like half an hour. We all know those flow states. That's what I'm talking about for this. You can have more of those experiences, and you can learn the difference between when you catch yourself before you go up here. The whole mindfulness Thich Nhat Hanh stuff. You can meet Thich Nhat Hanh, Joseph Campbell, Joe, Einstein, Gandhi, Mandela, MLK, a lot of really cool figures, 170 plus. That's on my website as well. Again, there's 100 plus testimonials. Check out Australian actor Ian Stenlake's testimonial, of course, but he was just the Christmas Eve 2023 Angels, Positivity, and Love guest. Super great interview. This is the guy who was Captain Mike Flynn, or Commander Mike Flynn, on board the HMS Hammersley, if I got it right. I forgot the name of the ship in the Australian Royal Navy. But it was the long-running Channel 9 TV series, Sea Patrol. He was in Stingers, another one of those like NCIS shows in Australia. He's currently in the Elvis, A Musical Revolution stage production, playing the Colonel. He's incredible. Just very brave fellow doing, we're all super brave and we're all super inspirational is my personal opinion. Getting up in the morning, doing the human thing, it ain't easy, but you can enjoy more peace, calm, prosperity, fun, sparkle, zip in your step. You can fall in life all over again. Fall in love with life all over again. You can remember what's forgotten. And I've got a little, I think I gave the service away for about 8 years, but I'd slip in, what does Mike do for people? And it was sort of like if I'm a cab driver and I was giving a free fare and helping people meet angels, hear angels, and so on, I'd slip that in, one, to help them understand what do I do for folks. And two, it was kind of like getting a tip. I still don't know what I do for folks quite. I do trans-dimensional channeling for a multi-dimensional experience. I help you meet angels. I crack you open like a walnut to get you out of here, what you think you know, into a broader bit of living and experience. I help you get out of your own way so angels can do their thing, whatever you need. They know, you know, your higher self knows. I try to stay out of it. Again, I try not to tell anybody anything. You do your own work. That is the most important thing. If it's the bike riding analogy, I'm not like a lot of folks out there, these healers, psychic mediums, they're all fantastic. Keep using them. But a lot of them will ride your bike for you when you're supposed to learn how to ride your bike yourself. So it's not saying you're 9 and you haven't learned how to ride a bike, but it's probably isn't the best metaphor. But I'm not going to be that dad that gets on the bike, pedals it for 2 hours, and blocks you from your own experience. In fact, I'm never going to touch the bike. You're going to learn how to ride your own bike, and you can be the #1 psychic medium in the world. You can simply tap all your existing sensory skills. You are far more light and energy and universe in you than you'll ever realize right now. You have the ability to listen more in any given situation. You're walking into a business meeting, you lost all your notes, left them on the airplane, but you still want to close the deal. You just have to listen. You can get those bullets handed to you. What does Sarah need to hear? John at the table. And assuming 1 + 1 = 11 and you're doing the right thing and with the highest intent, close that deal. Same thing for athletics. You need a little extra strength in your legs, ask for it. I've been a runner for 41 or 42 years. I think it'll be in February. I've had runs where clients have listened on my behalf, and I've had angels help me where 70% of the runs, supposedly, angels help me out. And I know for a fact it was super hot, super hilly. No way I should have been able to do that run. North San Antonio, you think Texas is flat. North San Antonio has these mini mountains of 8 to 12% inclines. Insanity, but beautiful too. Lots of cedar trees here, lots of wildlife, red-tailed hawks, deer, coyotes, and more. Caracara, love these. So the world's your oyster. Don't be shut tight like an oyster. It's super easy to do that. You can tell if you want to hang out with someone. Are they happy? Are they positive? Is this the type of energy you want to be around? Find people with high vibes. Hang out with them more. Set your intent. If you don't know how to do that, set your intent to the universe. Be like, hey, bring me higher vibe people who smile and laugh, and it's infectious. And watch what happens to your own demeanor over time as you simply allow for the possibility of shifting what you're experiencing in life. If you make a long laundry list of all the bad things happening, that's fine. Now, how do you separate yourself? Put that page off in the far corner of your house or apartment. You don't even have to go over there. You know the details so much so, but have you spent an equal amount or more time picturing what life could be like in the coolest of ways? No. No one trained us to do this. It's not in kindergarten. It's not in junior high, middle school, college, PhD. This is still the act of interacting with the universe with no boundaries is still something that holistic, spiritual, publishing, research institutes, consciousness researchers or scientists, astrophysicists, no one's used to embracing this yet. And yet every one of these crowds out there could get their answers and get things done in a faster, more efficient way. Let's use the UFO, UAP crowd one more time. Wouldn't they want to meet light beings and chat with them? Totally safe, unconditional love. A light being can dumb it down for you to look like Silver Surfer. Get any answers. Why would you want to deal with mortal creatures who might be less than unconditional love? It doesn't mean there aren't some unconditional loved ones in there who are mortal as well, who are here to help. I'm just saying, why make things the long, complicated slog at the human level? Because humans love conflict, drama, asking 30,000 questions, taking 30 years to get done what could be done like that. I don't know. I'm an idealist. I hope one day people will pay more attention to this, have more fun. It's just about more love, but think about it this way. I think Peaceful Warrior, Way of the Peaceful Warrior, the book, and Peaceful Warrior, the movie with Nick Nolte, Amy Smart, Scott Meklowitz, both touch upon this. And also Seth from the 1970s, kind of the beginning of the whole New Age thing, Light Being. They all talk about how the last place you kind of want to really go on anything is your own heart. Your ego is kind of in control. So this is a lot less about who you could meet, getting answers, more love, healing, seeing colors beyond human definition. You can see auras, you can see consciousness flowing, the force from Star Wars between people on trees. You can have a butterfly made out of light by an angel and have it fly around in front of you. It's really not about all that. It's really about the basic human conundrum. The concept of, the whole, is it Descartes? I think, therefore I am. Not how it works at all. And there's still a lot of people running around who don't realize thinking is the only obstacle to your further growth. Getting stuck in achievement or failure, thinking your roles, your societal roles, and even if you're experiencing tons of success as that best-selling author on, this topic, there's always room for continued expansion, growth, and even more happiness and more sparkle. And when you start to go down that path, you also are serving others. You're doing what you love to do, but you're touching other people whether you know it or not. You glow more, and therefore your vibe, your ball of light is further out, and you're supporting others again, whether you know it or not. That's what this is about, is simply sharing, being more love, sharing more love, allowing for the true fabric of the universe to come in more. That's the direction mankind's headed in, regardless of all the details going on these days. Check out the YouTube website. It's just youtube.com. You're here already, I realize. At Michael André Ford, we've had a super successful launch. We're a tiny, tiny channel with a really big footprint when it comes to guests. Why? Because we've got angels, Native American chiefs, figures from India, Krishna, Ganesh, Shakti, Lakshmi, Meher Baba, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Sai Baba, Sri Kaleshwar. You can meet those figures, you can hear those figures, get hugs from those figures. You can close your eyes and go beyond words and do a bunch of different things, and that's really cool as well. So guests get to take those steps before and after the show, and sometimes during the show they take baby steps. You can follow along too anytime you want. Again, you just have to allow for this, which just means checking out of your brain long enough to let stuff happen. So don't take it too seriously. Remember, a couple deep breaths. Exhale like a whale if there's anything kind of catching you up. I'm talking too fast. You're like, oh, but I don't believe in Christianity and Hinduism, but I believe in Buddhism, or only wearing the color blue on Tuesdays, or this, Los Angeles Chargers are good, the New York Jets are bad. Look, there's a trillion different makeups of personalities out there. Don't change a thing. Keep doing exactly what you're doing. But at some point, you might realize that, hey, maybe there is a broader, easier way to breathe, easier way to roll that is more love, shares more love. And the only way you can do more love is to be here. So that's what this is really about, is jettisoning the age-old self-importance that humans tend to have, rigidity, getting stuck with thinking we've had some sort of success on some front, and therefore we can just stop learning and paying attention. We forget everything all the time. I'm, probably lead in the front line here of that. I need a reminder every single day to lighten up, not react, not take things too seriously, take myself too seriously, take others too seriously. I've probably gotten rejected, I'm going to say 8,000 times, but I've had a good 5,000 people either see their energy, engage, take steps over time. So I'm super thankful for that. And some of the people from the first group become members of the second group. So I never know when someone's going to either tighten up or go loosey-goosey and say, sure, let's do it. And it could be the person bouncing back and forth between the two states. One state is up here on consciousness, being tight, shut tight like an oyster, knowing something in a preclusion of possibility, fear, ego, a psyche that wants to control everything and stay locked down, in fear, flight or fight mode. And then there's down here. Everyone's got a shiny, infinite, big heart that's already connected to everything that there is. You just have to trust that. And that's a lot of letting go. So this is the brain. on humanity, and then this is us down in the heart, connected to all there is. And I guess I'd just leave you with the final thought. All day long, you're actually down here doing stuff, but your brain will lock you up tight with thinking to try to block you taking that breath, from you enjoying more that sip of coffee or tea, or from watching the dogs run around in the yard. It's the little moments that are really your entry point back into here. Thich Nhat Hanh, Pieces Every Step, is one of the best books ever. I have a suggested reading page on my website that doesn't just have books. I'll see if I can figure out the Amazon affiliate program down the road. But I tried to find you the best sources. A couple of the books can get expensive because they're just a little more rare, but there's some videos in there as well. There's no one author or one way, but if you don't try too hard, this realization will simply come upon you. And let angels do their jobs. Let the universe do its job. You have to simply take a flare gun, pull the trigger. Send a flare up to the universe that says, hey, help me out. Help me wake up a little bit to the nature of my own reality, the nature of my ability to love more and allow more. If you think you lost it, let's do it this way. As an adult, a lot of times we look back to our high school years or middle school years, or when we were 25, or at this point in life when things were smooth, happy. You didn't have all the cares, concerns, and burdens and worries and doubts and loss, grief, trauma that you do today. Nothing's actually changed. I need you to think about it this way. Love is an absolute constant, never went away. It's in you and around you. It's in everything. Light itself is in you and around you. It's in every single thing. That fireplace mantle, the mirror, my dogs on the couch over here. You just have to slow down enough to get out of your own version of reality to get with the program, which is the love program. And that's going to sound like a lot. There's a few people out there who are in a super big bind, who have gotten themselves in a pinch because they think they've got a lack of this, a lack of that, a lack of this, a lack of that, who will absolutely react at that point. And so be it. They're going to do 10 more years of punishment to themselves. And however you want to roll is how you're going to roll. But the second you're willing to shift your focus and your flow, you can get back to here anytime you want. Once you've really appreciated what this is about, and you know the difference between when you're flowing up here versus, or not flowing up here, I'll call it unconsciousness, lack of awareness, unlove, and you know the difference between a love, at some point it clicks and you go, why would I ever want to do more unlove willingly or consciously? You're still going to do it all the time. We do thinking all the time. Can't help it. But a little less thinking is the Olympic gold medal, according to angels. 7% less thinking a day, a week is the Olympic gold medal. It's not in the cards for humans to get rid of thinking. Check out my little Listening to Angels book, $7.99. Amazon. You can find it all over my website. It's been a #2 bestseller. I'm super proud of that because everyone's a #1 bestseller. I'm a #2 bestseller twice, 22. In angels, I think, and some other categories maybe. The point of this is it's written by angels. It's probably a 25-minute read. So beautiful. Anyone thinks I wrote that language, you got to be crazy. Look at how I talk in these videos. You know, sure, I might say something sassy or fun, but it was all straight from angels. I really don't have anything original. Even when I say remember to remember, if you can remember to remember, that's based on, it was not based on Songyal Rinpoche's remember to remember. I thought I was saying something original for years. Chogyam Trungpa gave that to me. And then a book fell off a store shelf, opened as Tibetan Book of Dying. Songyal Rinpoche had done the foreword to someone else's Tibetan Book of Dying. And at the end of his little foreword, it says, for 35 years, I've been teaching my students remember to remember. Now, what you remember exactly isn't important. What to let go of isn't exactly important. Just keep letting go. Remember what you can remember, if you can remember, to remember. I'm going to give you a hint. It's more love. It's more sparkle. It's more room for breathing, space. It's touching flowers, touching soil, slowly eating your food. There's 1 million, 2 million ways, your entry point into here. And there's 40 million reasons why this isn't possible. So again, I'll leave you with, imagine what happens when humanity starts to actually pay attention. You aren't going to have to worry about climate change anymore, or your appliances, or this or that. You're actually going to be breathing, doing more love, more universal awareness, more consciousness. You're not sacrificing or, what's that word, surrendering your identity, any of that stuff. Still stay a New York Jets fan or a Los Angeles Chargers fan. That's not it at all. There's a lot of groups that try to get you to surrender your personal authentic power, and next thing you know, you're part of a group not doing so hot 10 years down the road. That's not what this is about. This is about discovering and owning your inner authentic self, discovering your own inner warrior, your own inner peaceful warrior, your own inner fearless warrior. You never lost it. You never skipped a step. You never missed a step. Find a way to imagine, to vibe out on who you are here. Remember when you were at the peak of your artistry, the peak of your soccer field stuff, the peak of your cooking when you were happy cooking all the time, when you were doing yoga and it was no issue. Picture yourself just on the beach catching rays on a beautiful beach on a beautiful day. You might have been 10, you might have been 20, it was 2 weeks ago, it was 20 years ago. It doesn't matter. Lock in the high vibe experiences. By doing that, you're there. And the more you go high vibe, the more you attract high vibe outcomes. It's the whole law of attraction thing as well. You don't have to worry about calling this New Age. You don't have to worry about calling this Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, this philosophy, Stoicism, the near-death experience crowd, the astrophysicist crowd, the UAP, UFO crowd, name all the different ways human beings have sliced and diced the exact same topic. It's about less this, more this, smiling, more smoother ride. But you might as well get to know Audrey Hepburn, Plato, Einstein's a blast, great sense of humor. Mother Teresa is so sweet, sparkly eyes. If anyone's worried about her and her background here on Earth, she's reconciled. You have to get over that. She's got a great sense of humor. I, again, love her quotes. If you judge people, you have no time to love them. The real question is, are you practicing enough love? Are you running around judging, which is negativity? Even if you're factually correct somehow, you're still judging, and it's still blocking the possibility of a different outcome. You're allowing and being love in your heart in this very moment can change the past, can change the future. That stuff's all a construct of the mind. You know that time isn't quite what you think it is because of that university class or that vacation. You know, a 1 hour class with a good professor who made it really interesting flies by in 10 minutes. A really bad professor, that 1 hour felt like 3 hours. You were about to die in your seat. That's probably when you saw the aura on the back of the head in the row in front of you by mistake, because you tuned out, you got to your heart, you didn't want to be there, but your whole body merged or saw the light on someone else. Think of the vacation. 1 month in Bermuda went by like 3 months. You were like, greatest vacation ever. You repeated it a year later, but it flew by in 3 days. And you're like, what the heck happened? Time isn't exactly what you think it is. None of this is. And so the more you're here, the greater your connection to all, the greater your comprehension, the broader your perspective is, the more love you flow, and more. But let angels tell you all this stuff. Don't listen to me. Check out the book. $7.99 at Amazon. Just go to amazon.com/author/angels. I got really lucky. Forget Michael André Ford. Just /angels. It'll come up. That's either my Amazon author profile, I believe. Click on listening to angels. That has like 7 photos of angels in it. I charge $3 a photo. My Wix website doesn't allow you to personalize the prices per photo. But pick up a photo and put it on your cell phone. Joy would be the best one of all. She's a really big angel, the ambassador, communicator. Just let her do her job. Pink ball light, let her move in the photo one day for you. You want to see her full on, you can see her full on. Ask her questions, leave your eyes on her. Don't close your eyes, leave your mouth open, breathe extra, and just be like silently out of your heart. Don't get caught at the supermarket. Joy, what do I need to know right now? If you only asked one question for the rest of your life, what do I need to know right now? You'd always get the best answers. Picture it from their perspective. Angels are the highest vibe ever. They're love. They have certain skills. They can alter your path. They can see how you're rolling. They know your whole life plan, but there's variations in it. They can assist you in any way, but they know better than to ever want to interfere because you're getting everything exactly the way you've created it, generated it, the way you need it, the way you're experiencing it. And what could be better for you than to learn on your own, just like I like to do with you? Why would I do anything for you that you can do for yourself, and therefore learn faster, quicker, and experience more love quicker to get with the program, the love program? We're going to have to patent that soon. So try to take yourself out of what you think your role, your situation, your predicament is, and see the broader scope of things. Mankind's always learning. Angels are learning. They're not quite perfect either. They're in and around us, but they're still learning from us. That's pretty incredible. From our perspective, they're perfect. They're all-knowing, so just leave it at that. But again, angels are like dolphins. Light beings are like whales. I can't wait. The UFO crowd is actually very curious. I've got to give them a ton of credit. They're definitely at a certain level for... they'll say they want experiences. We'll see. I'm going to be interacting with a bunch of folks in 2024. I'm very excited about this. No matter what, this is a lot for the senses. You got to go slow. But just imagine what happens when you meet a couple angels, Archangel Michael, Einstein, perfectly good for the scientific community, Buddha, and Thich Nhat Hanh, and then you meet a light being who looks like Silver Surfer, who's a lot of fun. It's sort of like, is it the old Maxell cassette commercials? You see a guy in a leather chair sunk down wearing glasses, and there's two huge speakers blaring, and it's the force of the music that you see him. It looks like he's going 100 miles an hour. The wind's hitting him in the poster. It's that's what this is. It's so much that you could start yawning, tearing up a little as you release all the, not negativity, but all the heaviness, all the stuff that is the unconsciousness, the lack of awareness that you carry around with you all the time. I'll leave it there. This is entirely up to you, but grab the book, watch the show. The show is people sharing their lessons they've learned, their wisdom, their flow. You can feel it when they talk. I love this program because everyone organically is going through their own evolution. And sometimes it's, 5 lifetimes to get done for one of us, what another person's done in 5 minutes, or vice versa. You learn the way you learn at your own pace. That's the definition of life. I love this concept because it ain't about what we're seeing nowadays, which is, hey, you shouldn't do any of your own learning. We're going to impose on you. This is how it works. And if you need some help, we're just going to force you to think and act this way. That's not the way life is at all. Life's about your personal freedom, cultivating it, discovering your authentic power. There's so many beautiful communities out there that are trying to help you to do this. Being just more conscious, more aware, having more fun, more zip, more sparkle, more humor. Angels use tons of humor. Native American chiefs use humor. Einstein uses humor. You're a known quantity. You just might be like this. And you need a tap on the shoulder to wake up. And a little, for me, I needed some slapping around to pay attention to this. I think we can all use a little, at least tap on the shoulder and some help. You've got to figure out how to let go of the, just let go. And again, the only rule or structure I've got is just, hey, angels, help me out of my head, into my heart, to have a wonderful rest of the day, to have a wonderful cup of tea, to enjoy my book. Start practicing a sort of a mindfulness practice. If you don't mind me saying angels, I've got photos of them. People see them directly. They're here to help. That's their role. I would strongly suggest, if I had one rule or structure, totally address them. But if you feel more comfortable hedging, be like, hey, universe, loving universe, angels, sock it to me. I could use all the love in the world, all the help in the world. Amen, rock and roll, thank you, Om Sai Ram. That's all this is. Okay, Michael André Ford, your American Angel Intuitive, thank you very much. Be sure to check out the show, and when you're there, please subscribe, like, share, and comment. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers to the channel. Splickety split. Why not? And I would say, why don't we leave the why not expression for all of this? Why not? Why wouldn't mankind want to love more, allow more, live more fully, and do a little less conflict? Wouldn't that be nice?